Hi, hi, hi. Afternoon. Grand rising to those of you at the start of your day. Afternoon to those of you who are Europe based. Please do let me know you can hear me okay. I have got my microphone back. Woohoo! So I'm actually using my microphone. If you can hear me, please do let me know in the chat. I don't have my headphones on. I know that is what's been perfect. Thank you very much. This is good news. I've remembered how to use the tools. So first and foremost, let's start by welcoming each other and popping exactly where you are from around the world. I don't need your home address or your postcode, ladies and gents, but just if you could just share where you are. So I can see that we have got Mary in Ireland. I know we've got Oregon in the United States. We've got Arizona. Hi, 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 everyone. It's good to be back. Minnesota, amazing, amazing. Cumbria, excellent. Arkansas, Manchester, amazing. Rondia, Texas, love that. Leeds, Northwest England, Kent, UK. Oh, Layla, I have to say to you, what you created earlier or what you shared with me earlier was just so beautiful, honestly. Ladies and gents, I am going to screen record it and put it through my stories on Instagram. Layla sent me this thing about Divine Feminine earlier, and she's like, I saw this and it reminded me of you, or I made this for you, or whatever the beautiful words were. But oh my gosh, it was absolutely incredible. So do keep your eye on my stories on Instagram and you will be able to see that. Mal is here from Anglesey. Hello, my sweetheart. I hope you're well. Chow from Sussex. Hello, hello. Another Manchester. I love that. I've seen that the weather is absolutely stunning in Manchester and generally in the UK. Now, ladies and gents, I have a little bit of good news for you. I will be back in the UK soon. I'm getting closer and closer and closer, but I'm not quite there yet. So do hold on. And I promise you, I'm going to be bringing the sunshine with me, ladies and gents. I think it was Dee earlier in my Conscious Conversation Telegram group shared the weather from back home in the UK. And I basically was like, I am taking the sunshine home. Like, I cannot ever, ever let my home turf go through a whole summer without some glorious, glorious weather. And I know you've been getting peaks and troughs with it, but there we go. So we've got Finland on. Lovely to meet you, Mira. I hope you are well, my friend. Lancashire, Broadstairs, good to have you on, Tracy. I hope you're well, my sweetheart. And I hope you are envisaging you walking on that beach, my love. It's very, very, very important. So today, ladies and gents, I'm going to be talking all about the power in your words. But before we go there, Idaho, hello, nice to have you on, my friend. Before we go there, there's a few things that I would like to talk to you about. First and foremost, can you blooming well believe it's August tomorrow, ladies and gents? Where on earth has this year gone? We are stepping into the 8th month tomorrow. Now, I feel extremely weirded out right now because I have got, I look back over this year and it's been like 25 years have passed. Does that resonate with any of you guys? Because I know for me personally, I feel that, well, just so much has been done this year. Like so much has been done this year. Like, I don't know how, first and foremost, we're in August. Can you guys get your head around this? I feel like yesterday it was Christmas. You know, I was sat out on the balcony having Christmas in 21 degrees sunshine, surrounded by people. And, you know, I just made a massive Christmas lunch. And I don't feel like we are anywhere near month number 8 yet. It is so bizarre. Now, you know, like as we step into August, obviously we have got some profound situations that happen in August. So first and foremost, tomorrow, the 1st of August, is actually full moon. Now, what that basically means is that we have the power of the energies coming in I've just got a little mosquito flying around me, ladies and gents. So if I get distracted, you know why. So basically, we've got the energies of the 1st of August that we're stepping into tomorrow. And then we are stepping into the full moon energies at exactly the same time. If you haven't already in the last few days, and I apologize to the people back home in the UK, because it sounds as if the weather has been really, really dire and you can't see up at the sky. But if you haven't and you get the opportunity, go outside and check out. Please leave me alone, mate. It keeps like coming really close to my face and then leaving. Go outside and check out this full moon. It is so beautiful and it is so powerful. And if you are anything like myself, which you are because you follow me, get your crystals and get anything that matters to you outside if you possibly can. If you've got sunshine, great, put it out in that. If you've got the moon energy shining down on you, please do get your crystals and things out on that. It's a really, really, really beautiful time to be saging your space, clearing your space, getting your crystals charged up, getting everything in alignment so that you can actually step into a much more beautiful, safe space for yourself. Now, it's really important that you recognize that this is something that we do need to be doing all the time. Like, we need to be doing this all of the time. And so I am constantly popping things outside to just charge up the energies. And then I'm just going to be honest with you. Once you've done that, buckle up and buckle in, because you go off on a rocket. Like, literally, you go off on a rocket. I did a beautiful exercise with some of my crystals that I travel with the other day. And when I set them up around where I was resting, it's been crazy ever since, ladies and gents. Like, literally, it has been crazy ever since. So it's extremely important that we recognize that we do need to keep up with our spiritual hygiene. Now, one of the gorgeous girls that I work with, one of my coaches, she had a situation in the last week whereby she actually reached out to me and she said, "Oh, can you just give my energy the once over, please, because I feel as if something, I feel something's just trying to like get at me." So I checked her over and she had a load of hooks in her. Now, what had happened was she went out in a rush and she didn't protect herself fully, and her spiritual hygiene perhaps got a little bit compromised because she was in a rush, and this is why I wanted to share this subject with you today. Is you absolutely need to recognize that we are living in a period of time that is going so fast. And what happens is, because we're on a go fast, you've got to love this new background that I've put on. It cuts my hands out. Because we're in this go faster period, we are like, our physical vessels cannot physically keep up with the time that we're on. And let me know if this resonates with you. I used to be able to do so much more in a day than I can do now. I go for a run and all of a sudden 2 hours have passed, and I know I haven't been running for 2 hours. I sit down to write a document, or I sit down to do, write my newsletter or something like that. And all of a sudden, a few hours have gone and I'm like, what? How? Where has the time gone? Now, what's happening is what used to take us like an hour is now taking us like a minute or two. Like, it's quite extreme. Maybe I'm being extremely extreme there, but maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. So, we can't do as much as we used to be able to do. And this is because we are in a period whereby we're surrendering all of the attachments. We're having to surrender everything that we've known and everything that has been holding us into a space whereby, we haven't been able to ascend. Now, it's extremely important we recognize that as the frequency is going up, our physical vessel, the cells and everything are starting to vibrate much quicker so that we can ascend also. But what's happening by default of that is we're losing time. We're losing time. And it's extremely, extremely important that we are recognizing that this is what's going to be happening more and more. We absolutely need to be recognizing that we are vibrating at a much higher rate, because we have to be. Anybody that is alive on the planet right now, congratulations. You know, we have chosen that we are going to go through this process, a pretty tough process. I think you'd agree. We're going through this really tough process whereby we are looking to take our physical vessel on an ascension journey with us. And this isn't something that we've done before. You know, we are doing things right now that nobody or nothing has been able to do before, in my opinion. I do not believe that we have ever been at as low a point vibrationally as we have been in the last, you know, maybe 100 years. I do not believe that we've ever been that low vibration. It's extremely important that we recognize that, because this is why we've got our hair falling out, and we've got, you know, our body doesn't process food like it used to. Like, I don't need to eat anywhere near enough as much food as I used to eat. I don't know about you guys, but I do not at all. And what's really interesting is I am loving my exercise right now. And everybody keeps saying to me, Lucy, you've got to up your calories. You know, I don't go along with calories, but you've got to up your food intake because you're going to burn your physical body out. And it's been quite a long time since I've really resonated with like the amount of exercise that I'm doing. I'm running every day. I'm doing Muay Thai. I'm, you know, doing weights, you name it. I'm doing it, and I feel good for doing it. That said, I physically can't take in enough food. So it's almost like I'm having to juice, and I'm having to have smoothies, and I'm having to do that to just be able to get food into me, or to get nutrients into me, more to the point. And I'm doubling up my capsules. As you guys know, I take fruit, vegetable and berry capsules that are literally just loaded with nutrients. Why do I do that? Because I physically can't get enough nutrients into my diet via my food. Why? Because somebody gave me a statistic recently, and I'm sure it was, you have to eat 19 oranges to get the nutrients that you used to be able to get in 2008, so not that long ago, of one orange. I'm sure that was the numbers that they gave me. So it's really quite eye-opening. And this is why some of our bodies aren't behaving in the way that we need it to. We are transitioning from a carbon body into a light body. And this is why we are going through all of these, you know, really weird things. If you're asking if my exercise is obsessive, I go from, you know, just walking to really wanting to do that. At the moment, I have got so much energy coming through me that I need to do this exercise. So it might be obsessive for you, but for me, I wouldn't be able to sit here and do this unless I do that level of exercise. So again, it's a perspective, and a perspective that obviously you feel a little bit defensive about. For me personally, it's working beautifully for me right now, because that's what I know I need to do. Very recently, and over the last however many months, I've been talking very much about we don't need as much exercise that we used to be doing. I've gone through this shift now whereby I feel so energized and so excited and so in love with the way that my body is feeling. And I truly believe that it's because I am stepping into my light body a lot more. A lot of you guys are seeing it on my videos. You used to see it a long time ago on my videos, but it's almost like every now and again I go into that holographic mode. So, and I don't mean this like my hands disappearing because I've got a background going on, like this is completely different. But a lot of people reach out to me and they comment about my aura. They comment about the fact that all of a sudden I go, you know, translucent and things like that. And it just happens sometimes. And I truly believe that this is because I have released the heaviness that was keeping me in a state whereby I wasn't allowing my physical vessel to ascend at the rate that it needed to. And I'm very connected with who I am and what I'm doing now. And you guys might sit there and be like, hang on a minute, Lucy, you've been connected for years to who you are and what you've been doing. But quite frankly, like I don't even know myself anymore because I am so connected to what I am doing. I often look at myself and I'm like, wow, just wow. And that is, it probably sounds a little bit egotistical, and it's not meant to be like that at all. It's just sometimes information comes in and things get done on this journey, and I'm in awe that I've been able to personally do it. You know, I've got all my incense flowing in my face, so it's It's a really, really, really interesting period of time. I don't think ever in my life have I been happier than I am right now, genuinely. And I truly believe that this is because I have surrendered to the fact that this journey is the journey that I'm going on. Yes, I've done that for a long time, but now I've got the energy back to be able to do the things that make me feel really good. And that is exercise. Like I have always, if you've followed my journey, if you've read my book, you know I love exercise. It is the thing that just really, really grounds me into being a human being. And I love the fact that I'm doing it because I actually get downloads and I get insights and I get all of these remarkable things taking place because of exercise. Now, I'm not the kind of person that says everybody's got to do this and everybody's got to do that. But if you have been a bit stagnant and if you have been a little bit lazy, my recommendation would be to give yourself a pep talk and see if you can get yourself going, because I broke through this little barrier and my goodness, do I feel good? Do I feel really, 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 really good? I feel like I've just gone to a whole nother level with my journey, which is absolutely amazing. Welcome to New Zealand. Lovely to have you on, Gillian. Absolutely lovely. I've been talking a lot about New Zealand in the last week. So just throwing that little comment out there. I do feel that I will be gracing your lands soon. I'm going to leave it at that. So, Lucy, are you familiar with Erin Leons? No, I don't know who that person is at all. But if she reminds you of me, that's great. I love that. So I don't follow anyone, just so you guys know. I don't follow anyone, and it's not because I'm ignorant or because I feel that I'm better than anybody else. I just really like to allow the messages to channel through me, and where I get all of the callings that I do, I don't want to get disrupted by other people's guidance. Or can you see the smoke? It's my inner dial, it's my inner guidance. And literally when people send me videos, like I might click on it and look at the first second, and if it's something that's kind of like truth related to do with like the jabs or something like that, then I'm off. Sometimes I watch things, but quite honestly, ladies and gents, I'm not that person. I used to love immersing myself in seeing what other people were doing. And like I say, I probably sound quite ignorant, but it's not the case. I just have surrendered to my piece of this puzzle. And quite honestly, so many other people can be doing so many other different pieces of the puzzle. And quite frankly, it's none of my business. It's great if people are coming together and we're doing the same work. It's great that our paths are crossing. It's great that that we come together on these videos sometimes. And I probably do sound quite ignorant, bearing in mind I'm on YouTube doing a live and I'm like, I don't watch anyone else's content. I know there are some great people out there. There's a lady that does astrology. I can't remember her name. She was amazing. I used to watch her years ago. Pamela something or other. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. Blossom, good child. She was amazing as well. But again, I just don't follow these people anymore. Not because I don't support them. I'm very, very supportive of their work. I just have to do me. And I feel that we're in a world that is so distracted and so distracting that when you are very aware of the piece of the puzzle that you hold and the importance and the relevance to what is going on right now, like my job is right now. My job isn't in 6 months' time. My job is right now. So I have to be focused on my job right this second. And yes, that's it. Pam Gregory, thank you for that. She's amazing. She's got such a beautiful soul. So for me right now, I can't be distracted by these people. Like I do videos with some great people. I've got some really amazing videos coming out on the YouTube channel. I'm filming a video around relationships tomorrow evening with Wendy Smith and a couple of really amazing guys. You guys are not going to want to miss this. This is going to be a really beautiful balance, divine feminine, divine masculine conversation. I've got an amazing video coming up with George at some point in the future. Did you see that orb go across me then? How on earth can you see an orb with this blooming background going on? That was so weird. So blooming weird. But hey ho, did any of you guys see that? Because I just looked up and there was just this little orb going across my forehead. It's like, we will get your attention. We'll just go against your skin. How interesting. Anyway, so yeah, there's a little bit of a tangent there, but I think it's really, really, really important. We have to stay in our own lane, ladies and gents. It's as simple as that. Now, if you're somebody that's like, right, I know as soon as we step into higher levels of consciousness, this is what my job is, like, you have the time to be a little bit distracted now. You have the time to be enjoying these moments and whatever. This is my go time for work right now. I've had the distractions. I've had things take place whereby, in my opinion, the darkness has wanted to stop me doing my job. But I am so super focused, like laser focused right now. And I know that this is the critical period. Now until probably the middle of next year is the critical period for me. I'm hoping that I don't need to be doing as much travel as I have been doing. But I do think I will always travel because I love it as much as I do. But I don't think I'll be going off on as many energy work like things after this year. In all honesty, I'm gonna put it out there. You heard that here first. So, ladies and gents, you can hold me to it, I hope. But I do feel that that's a very, very important piece of the puzzle for now. Okay. So a couple of things that I want to share with you before I actually get onto the whole point of this video. So sorry about this, ladies and gents. Healing hangs. I am doing healing hangs on the 19th of September with two amazing, amazing, amazing healers. So between the three of us, we are going to hold space for you to let go of everything that has ever been holding you back. If you are a procrastinator, if you are somebody who jumps in two-footed and then goes, oh my God, what have I done? We're going to help you recognize at what point you manifested that, how you've brought that into your life, and how it has been disruptive. We are going to talk through lots of different exercises that you can do. We're going to do meditations. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. And like I say, I am joined by Claire Tebbett, who is an amazing, amazing healer, and also Kevin Wright, who you would have heard me speak about quite a bit if you watch my Instagram videos. An amazing soul and a very, very incredible healer. So yeah, that's happening on the 19th of September. It's at 7 p.m. UK time. I have to remember these facts. I'm not very good at this. So this is about letting go. The one in October, ladies and gents, is something that I've been promising for a very long time, and it's around abundance. It will be about recognizing why you choose to live in lack. Yes, ladies and gents, you choose to live in lack, and how we can create an abundance mindset off the back of it. So that is going to be in October of this year. I don't know the date yet. And even if I did, I'd probably forget it, ladies and gents, right now. So but that is the one that is going to be coming. Thank you, Lizzie. You're freaking amazing. Lizzie, round of applause, my babe. She's an absolutely amazing soul. So let's look at the power of your words. And do you know what, ladies and gents? What is so funny is a couple of you at the start of this chat said some absolute choice words that I was like, oh, I love the fact that you've used that today. You know, we're going to be able to go back and take a little look at that. So if you do not know my Self-Love Club membership program, I spend a whole month looking at words. The month is actually called Watch Your Language. And the reason it is called Watch Your Language is unless you are paying attention to your language, you will be bringing in lots of things that you are not aware that you are doing. Now, what is hilarious is I opened my diary earlier today, which I haven't done in a long time. I opened my diary and this Post-it note fell out of it. And this was after I decided what I was talking about today. And the Post-it note says, words create our world. Now, if that wasn't a message from the universe saying, we need to be reminding people of the language, Lucy. You know, people are letting their language slip right now. And it's extremely, extremely important for us to recognize that we are doing these things. Now, I do a whole month because of the importance of this. It always has been, and it always will be, ladies and gents. Don't you love my little synchronicities, ladies and gents? Isn't it amazing? It's bloody amazing. Language has always been very, very important. However, This lifetime, it is much more so than ever before, because we are looking to achieve things. We're looking to reach a level of consciousness that we have never been able to do before. Like I say, now people might shoot me down for this. This is purely my perspective, as it always is when I do these videos. I truly feel that we were at the lowest point vibrationally that we ever have been. You know, I believe that when we look back and we hear about the Bible and those kind of times, I believe that the consciousness, the height, the frequency was actually a lot greater. Now, I'm going to go into this a little bit more on Conscious Conversations tonight. I'm going to go into detail with this, but because I don't have the time to put the context around it all, and you guys, you know, at my Conscious Conversation community, it's like they're my best friends. We all sit around like having a cup of tea, and I chat and they ask questions and things like that. So they know what I mean by certain things. So I'd need to kind of, you know, give you a bit of backstory and stuff like that. Whereas with that community, I don't really need to. So apologies for that. But I truly believe that we used to vibrate at a much higher rate than we do right now. I believe that a number of things brought our vibration down. You know, the atrocities, the heinous crimes that have been done around the world. It is extremely, extremely important that we recognize that. Now, that said, I'm not saying that we're better because we started from a lower point. I'm not saying that we're, you know, any of that stuff. What I'm just saying is I really, truly feel that we need to be so impeccable with our word. Impeccable with our word right now. And if you are not being impeccable with your word, then you absolutely need to be paying a little bit of attention to this video, ladies and gents. Like I say, I do a whole month on this in Self Love Club and I just channeled it because it's so important. Now, if you have ever watched my Instagram lives on, obviously on Instagram, but if you've ever watched the old Facebook lives that I used to do, obviously on FaceSake, or if you've watched any of my content anywhere, you will notice that it is very rare that I say good morning. Good morning. It's very, very rare that I say that. Now, the reason, in fact, before I go on there, I know I have triggered many, many people by what I do say. Now, what I say is grand rising, or I say higher, because think about it, higher. What does that mean? I'm going to vibrate higher. Grand rising. Oh, yeah, I am going to go up. I am going to go really, really high vibrational from this conversation. If you think about mourning, what happens when you're mourning? You're at a funeral, somebody's died. That is a play on words. So for me personally, I choose to use something that is higher vibration. Now, like I say, I have been shot down in flames for saying grand risings. Oh, it's so annoying, Lucy. It's so this, it's so that. And the devil does work through people. So of course they're going to try and stop you helping people ascend, people using better language to actually create better. Yeah, high, perfectly, higher. Like I always put higher, you know, because it's like, yay, I'm going to have a higher day today. Today is going to be absolutely amazing. So just as a separate note, please know if you've been saying good morning for a long time, it's going to take you some time to change that. What you could say, good day. Good day. I wish you a good day. And the reason I quite like that is because in Spanish, it's the easiest thing to say, good day. Okay. Even hello, think about it. What's the first 4 letters of hello? Hell. So we have to be really, really comfortable and open with ourselves. Now, somebody on here, I can't remember who it was, but somebody on here just a minute ago used the word mindful. Now, mindful is something that I can't use that word. I've had to rewrite my affirmation cards because that does not align to me. I don't want a full mind. No way. I want to be aware. I want to be conscious. Mindful to me suggests that my mind is full and I have no capacity to take on any more. Very, very important. Very important. Somebody else in the chat earlier, and this is the chat on YouTube, by the way, ladies and gents, because I know I'm live on both Facebook and YouTube. But on Facebook, on YouTube, I got a comment earlier, and someone was saying it's insane how quick this year has gone. Okay, insane. Why on earth would you want to bring in insanity? Do you see how they have played us, how they have manipulated us? We literally, words create our world, ladies and gents. So if you are saying, that's insane, you're saying, give me some insanity over here. Or, you know, the kids, I don't know if they still say it, by the way, but the kids used to say, that's sick, man. That's sick, man. You know, like, didn't they? And they're basically asking for more sickness to come in. So we need to be very conscious of this. Now, I'm not gonna say to you guys that I'm anal about this. And again, a really bad choice of words, but you know, just to get my point across, I know at some point I say a word and I'm like, oh, where did that come from? You know, and I know it's not the highest vibrational word. Sometimes when especially when I'm doing, you know, the healing sessions and I have to talk about the cancer and the thyroid issues or whatever. So I know that there are words that I have to say, because otherwise you'd be like, what is she talking about? You know, that growth that happens in this part of the body. And, you know, you guys would be playing games with me, trying to keep up with what I'm talking about. So sometimes I have to kind of like say, you know, I don't want to use this word, but unfortunately, I really do need to use this word so that people can get this. So before I start a video like this, or before I go on and do a video with an interview or something like that, I always set the intention, look, I'm going to use the highest vibrational words possible. However, if I need to use a word that is a lower vibration, it doesn't mean I'm calling it in. Thank you very much. I'm using this because I need to help people get the message. Okay, and you can do the same. You can also say a word and then cancel, delete, return to sender. You know, like I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead when you're laughing. You know, that's a massive one that I teach through Self-Love Club. The amount of children that say, oh my God, I'm dead. It's like, oh my God, I'm insane. Oh my God, I'm, you know, and it's absolutely fascinating how we are allowing our children to manipulate their futures by using these words. We must recognize that we have a choice, and we can say to our children, we can say to our loved ones, do you really mean that? Do you really want to call in sickness? It's extremely important that we have these conversations. But ladies and gents, in all honesty, you don't need to preach. You just need to change. You just need to change. So many people have said to me, they've messaged me or whatever, and they're like, Lucy, you know, I've just listened to your video and I'm never going to use the word good morning again. And I'm like, fabulous, good for you. Why is that? Because every day I get on my videos and I say grand risings. I don't say, hi, ladies and gents. The reason I say grand risings is because of blah, blah, blah. So I just repeat, rinse, repeat. And Linda, I have been asked to write a book on this, and I probably will do at some point. I think it would be very, very handy, even if I throw together an ebook, you know, and put all the proceeds towards Soul School. Like, I think that it could be really, really beneficial, especially for parents, you know, parents. Because if you speak eloquently and if you speak with the words of the highest vibration, then of course, what are your kids going to do? I don't even like the word kid for children. You know, it's about your children mirroring you. It's about your gorgeous sons and daughters literally allowing you to mirror. And it's interesting. Lizzie dropped me a voice note earlier today and she's like, oh, I was sharing this thing last night and I just sounded like you. Great. You know, I can't be in front of everybody. Please do use my language. If it speaks to your soul and it resonates with you, please do go and use my language. You know, obviously, I don't want you going and using my content. You know, I've got copyright all over my programs. But when I do public videos like this, please go and use the content. Share it with people. If this resonates with you, you know, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, because obviously that's how YouTube share it further. And go and share it with your communities. Tell your son to give it a watch. You know, because this is how we spread the message further. We don't all have to be masters at these things. What we do is we go, that Lucy Davis, she's good at helping with the language. Right, I'm just going to hand it over to her. Here's a video. Mate, I think you need to watch this video. Here's one of her videos. It's perfect. That's why when people say to me, oh, you know, social media is so low vibration. Yes, I wish I didn't need to do this. But how would I connect with all of you guys every single Monday night if I wasn't on social media? How would I be able to share these little nuggets of wisdom that aren't mine, by the way? They just come through in channelings. Now, this might be a little bit of a triggering one, ladies and gents, but the word fear, when people say no fear, no fear, no fear, they are plugging fear into you. They're plugging fear into you. Talk about love. Now, I'm not saying it's not okay to say, you know what, I'm a bit scared about this, and actually talk about it and get to the reason of why your emotional trauma is forcing you to be scared or forcing you to be fearful at this point. But do recognize when you are banging on about the word fear, you are actually initiating fear in other people. So for me, I just talk about love where I possibly can. You know, I know it's a bit unreasonable. I talk about emotional trauma and things like that. So sometimes I do have to talk about the fear, because the fear element of it is anything that is lower vibration than love. And we need to recognize this. If we are the person that sits there and says, oh, you can't do that, and oh my God, have you seen this? And all this spewing, and a lot of people recently have got a little bit, actually they haven't. A lot of people have found it quite interesting that I'm blatantly saying, like, step away from the truth movement, you know, step away from all of the stuff that is being shared and shared and shared, because this is perpetuating fear. And as somebody that is working day and night to bring in higher levels of consciousness, every single time you share that video about something, you know, that's low vibration, like, you've got to know that you are perpetuating fear. Now, some of you out there, that's your role this lifetime, and that's absolutely okay. But if it's not your role this lifetime, you need to be the one perpetuating love. And Lizzie is literally she's spieling all over the place like me today. Rise in love. It's something that I've been talking about for a very, very, very long time. That's all we're here to do. It's not fall in love. Why do you want to fall into anything? You don't fall pregnant, you conceive. You know, it's extremely, extremely important. We rise in love. We conceive. We rise in pregnancy. There are so many nuances of this, and we need to be recognizing it, ladies and gents. You know, try is another really great one. Why would you try anything? Either do it or don't. Just own it. When people say to me, oh, I'm going to try and do that, I'm like, why? Why are you going to try? Either do it or don't. You know, I always say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then if I can't do it for any reason, this is the reason why not. And nobody ever asks, because they've seen the fact that I've given it a go. You set yourself up for failure. And I'd like, smash the thumbs up or smash the love heart for me. Let me know if this resonates with you. Like, when you tell yourself, I am going to go and do this, and you literally go and do it, do you get it done or not? More often than not, yes. It might take a little bit more time. It might take a little bit of harder work, but you get it done. Try is just, you know, it's such a loose term. You've got no commitment when you try. No commitment whatsoever. You must own the fact that you're either going to do it or you're not. Another really good one, can't. Oh, I can't do that. Says who? Says who? This is your fear kicking in. This is just your limiting belief. This is you holding yourself back. This is you allowing a lower vibration to take over. Why would you do that? You can do anything, ladies and gents. You can do anything at all in your life. You genuinely can. I'm glad that you're enjoying this, Lindsay. I'm really, really pleased that you are. Another one, sleep. Very rare you hear me talk about the sleep word. I love being awake. So I rest. I allow my physical vessel to rest. I don't go to sleep. I go to rest. Sleep. Do you really want to go back to sleep? Do you really want to go back to believing that, this is anything but an illusion? How do you want that? How do you want it to appear in your life? Sleep. No. I rest. I allow myself, and this is so when I go off to sleep, when I go resting, whenever I talk about it in conscious conversations, I talk about my state of super consciousness. I am in a state of super consciousness when I rest at the end of the day, or if I rest in the afternoon, for example. That's because I'm allowing my body to surrender, and I'm actually going to a world whereby I can remember what goes on in other realms. This is my point of adventure into other worlds, into other realms. I can coexist in multiple realms at the same time when I am in a state of super consciousness. Just a personal thing. Maybe you want to go back to sleep. And if that's the case, then you keep using that word, ladies and gents. But for me personally, I love what I do. I don't know if you've noticed, but I really love what I do. I feel very connected to what I'm doing. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I feel happier than I felt in years, because I am so aligned and I am so connected to what I'm doing right now. Like literally, it's years. Now, this one is another interesting one, a little bit like mindful, and that's like, because so many people use mindfulness and all this stuff, right? Especially in the spiritual world. This is another one that a lot of people use, and it is blessed. Be less. I don't want you to be less. I want you to shine like the super diamond, absolutely amazing, powerful being that you are. My wish for you, my desire for you is that you feel that. We don't want to be less than anything. So a really, really dear friend of mine, when I met him, Paul, he reached out to me and he's like, Lucy, I love what you say about the words. He said, but I'm always saying blessed, have a blessed day, have this, have that. And I was like, so the word that we use is bliss. We use the word bliss. We don't go to be less, be more. Live in a state of bliss, ladies and gents. And he was like, oh my God, it's so easy. It's just changing one word. Exactly. Exactly. And I have people messaging me all the time, Lucy, I've realized that this word means this. What can I use instead? Oh, Tracy, that's a really beautiful message. So on YouTube, Tracy's put, love you, Lucy Davis. Amazing, informative lady. Love all your positive energy. Thank you, babe. That's so cute. I really appreciate that. And I've got goosebumps all over me, you writing that. Thank you. You know what? Sometimes, like, all of this stuff is just stored inside of me, but I feel I talk about it all the time, but clearly I need to talk about it a lot more. There are so many words out there that we use. And ladies and gents, I haven't said this to you today to make you feel bad or make you feel guilty or name or shame or be judgmental or any of those things. I'm raising it into your consciousness because I do feel that as we step forwards into high level of consciousness, this is the key. This is one of the keys that fit the lock, if you get what I mean. I talk to one of my team all the time about locks and keys because I just get these really interesting downloads. And so if you imagine a lock, I reckon there's 3 keys to open that lock, and one of them is language. One of them is language. If we can actually come from a space of love, and if we can actually create like literally create our world based on our words, which is absolutely what it is, because this is the message that oh God, you can't even see it, but this was what I wrote God knows how long ago. Like I say, I haven't looked in my diary in a very, very, very long time. And words create our world. Words create our world. That was a message that I wrote down a long time ago and put it probably at the start of this year, if not before. And I slid it into my diary. Like, if you had a choice, would you create a world of love, or would you create a world whereby you're going to be less, you're going to be in mourning, you're going to be holding yourself back? Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's absolutely amazing the power that we can create. Gina, thank you for asking about amen. I don't use amen, I use and so it is. And so it is. It's a certain statement, and so it is. Amen, I actually feel is actually quite a low vibration term. I feel it's a bit of a sacrificial term, if that's even allowed to be said. I went on a bit of a rant about sacrifices on Instagram yesterday, so if you guys are on there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for me personally, I call it, and I end anything, and so it is. So whenever you guys are looking at my my stories and whatever, and you see and so it is, you know exactly what I am talking about. And I always give the hands. Pray can be quite a negative thing. We're going to prey on people. Again, it's a play on words. So I would really, really like you guys to start saying to yourself and recognizing these things. Now, I'm not here to slag off anything at all. I love the fact that we're all individual. I love the fact that we're all out there doing our own thing. But I do believe that many of these words have been twisted over the years in our history, because it has been worthwhile to the people, that profit from it. Just my personal opinion. Oh, my nose is getting really itchy, ladies and gents. We all know what that means. Some channeling might start coming in a minute. So, ladies and gents, I've really spoken about my perspective. And now this is just my perspective. Like I say, there are many, many different opinions on this and perspectives, and you've got to go with what feels right to you. You do not need to believe everything I say. It might be that you like some of the words, and other words you're like, no. How would we say bliss, Lucy? So have a blissed day. So rather than saying have a blessed day, have a blissed day, or bliss you when somebody sneezes, like things like that. That's what I would do. Just wherever you would use the word bless, I would use the word bliss. It's as simple as that. Don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Like, literally just keep it very, very simple, and just ask yourself, like, what are the vibration of the words that I'm putting out there? Does it make me feel good? And if I say morning, or if I say higher in exactly the same tone, morning, higher, it's the higher. Like, even in that dull tone, it still makes you feel better. It still gives you a higher vibration. So I had an amazing conversation with one of my best girlfriends in the last few days, and it's amazing, right? So this is the power of words. This right here is the power of words. We were having a conversation, and I used the word yawn. The next thing I knew, she was yawning down the phone at me. Now, if my language can be that powerful that it can create a physical reaction in somebody else, imagine what we are capable of doing. Think about it, ladies and gents. Think about it. How can we create shifts by our words is when we use purity 90% of the time, 80% of the time. That means that our friends, the people that we are around, the people that are influenced by us, and of course, me and my best friends influence each other. You guys come and listen to my videos. If you listen to my videos every single week or a few times a week, I influence you, whether you like it or not. This is what happens. We're a clique, we're a soul community, we're a tribe, whatever word you want to use, that is what we are. So we influence each other. So if I'm sat here using beautiful language and impeccable words, and then all of a sudden, I'm talking about something like a yawn, and then you find yourself yawning, just imagine the absolute brilliance that we could create if we started using words and being very aware. Like, we could easily put people in a trance, couldn't we, if we just sat here talking about sleep and talking about yawning. And you know what it's like? How many of you smash the love heart for me, or smash the thumbs up, or whatever, depending on what platform you are, if you have ever been in a room with somebody and either they've yawned or they've done something like scratched their nose or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're doing the same. It's extremely, extremely powerful. We can influence each other to do things without saying, hey, Lindsay, please can you scratch your nose for me? Hey, Lindsay, I want you to yawn. Without saying that, we can just do it. Like, if I sat here and forced a yawn out of my mouth right now, chances are at least one of you or a few of you watching would definitely be doing it back in your own home space. It's extremely important. Now, Tracy's asked a really beautiful question on YouTube, and I absolutely love that. The question is, are words bad if our intent is not? I love that question so much, and I get asked this question quite a lot. From my perspective, what I love, sorry, Moon Girl, for making you yawn. Oops. So are words bad if your intent is pure, if your intent is good? Now, obviously, it comes from the intention within the person. However, why would you not take the opportunity to create a much higher vibration as you possibly could? So for me, sometimes you will say a word. Let's say, for example, you're out walking your dog tomorrow and somebody says, morning. And you'll be like, morning. Oh, shit, I should have said higher. Like, your intent is to be beautiful and to be responsive to that person. Yeah. However, if you can, hiya, how are you today? Oh, isn't this weather remarkable? That is how you allow the vibration to go up. So intention is definitely something that's very, very pure. However, again, I've used this one a lot recently. Intention, your intention. If you intend, make sure that you are relaxed. Make sure that you are free flowing when you do this. Okay. It's a really, really, really amazing question, and I absolutely love it. For me personally, I'm just going to up my game. I am going to really make sure that I'm using as beautiful language as I possibly can. I think somebody just said a minute ago, I will never use a negative word. I'll always use the word interesting, or I'll use different words, because I find it fascinating. Good, bad, and ugly. It is fascinating. And I'm never going to be the person that puts other people down. Like, I would love to let loose sometimes, really, I would like to let loose sometimes, but I'm like, hey, why do you want to bring any more of that in? Why do you want to bring any more of that in? Like, you putting that out is going to bring more of it to you. So why would you do that? I don't need to be in this perpetual cycle of loops. I don't. So you know what? If somebody really crosses around me, like, boom, I'll get it dealt with. But that's it. That's it. If you feel like people are not aware, go share this video, sweetheart, genuinely. Like, anywhere that you think that this video would be appreciated, please go and share this video. That's the way that we make these shifts. Like, it's not about me. It's not about me at all. This is about us getting this message out there. So if you're not somebody who does videos, or if you're not somebody, or if you don't know anybody else that talks like this, just get the video out in front of them. Share it with people. Hey, watch this. What's your opinion? What do you feel about it? That's all I would be saying. Swearing, I think, is a really interesting one. So I use the F-bomb as, if just in case you've never noticed, I use the F-bomb quite a lot. I actually find that using that word is very therapeutic for my throat chakra. I really, really do. No, Tracy, this isn't a judgment thing. Please don't judge yourself. You know, don't judge yourself with any of this. None of this is about judgment. Remember what I said at the beginning. This is about raising consciousness so we can actually choose what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So there is never any judgment with this. Obviously, when you have pure intention, that's great. But just please remember that you can be creating a much bigger ripple of love. Do you remember where I dropped the stone and the love ripples, like as the love bomb, the love ripples go out? That's what I would be doing. And this is literally just clearing up our words. Now, if you use the word dickhead and you're directing it at somebody, I feel you're going to get a lot more dickheads coming at you. Genuinely. I use the word fuck because sometimes I've just got to, and it is just getting it out of me. It's not directed at anybody. Like if I called somebody an effing something or other, then I'm going to get more of that coming in at me. And that's why I am really careful with the way that I speak. I don't think any of you have ever heard me say the F-bomb, have you? It's one of my favorite words. Honestly, my mum is like, Lucy, do you have to? And I'm like, oh, mum, you know what? Sometimes we just got to let our throat chakra clear. And I used to be so poorly with my throat because I didn't speak my truth. Now I'm speaking my truth, but I'm speaking my truth from, I was going to use the word palette. I don't know why I was shown you know, one of the old fashioned palettes with paints on. Very, very interesting. That's what I was just like, oh, I don't know why they just showed me a paint palette. Clearly somebody wants to come through with a paint palette. Oh my gosh, I wonder who that's going to be. So I won't let them come through now because I've only got a couple of minutes left. That could take this off on a whole different direction. So I wouldn't be calling names. That's my point, ladies and gents. You know, I know it's difficult sometimes. There are some really nasty people out there and I mean that there are some really nasty people out there. And I don't want you to feel that you can't, you know, vent about these people or whatever, but just be very, very, very careful because everything that you are putting out, you are asking to come back in. Everything that you are, you know, you're basically speaking into existence. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know why I just kept getting this Leonardo da Vinci thing coming through me when I was saying that, Martin. So God knows what's going to be going on this evening on Conscious Conversations because that I was literally shown this palette and this really old fashioned paint palette. And then all of a sudden, boom, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm like, okay, cool. Who knows what's going to come up. Right. So Lizzie's I think you've just brought up some healing for me. My parents put me in elocution lessons as a child. Who does that to make me fit into their lifestyle? But it had a negative effect on me. Shall I tell you a very funny story to end this live with? My parents put me in elocution lessons as well when I was 11 years of age. And I said to them, if you ever send me back there again, I will be running away and I will be quitting this school. And I think they should have just saved their money. Because now I speak for a living, I do very well, out of that. But I do drop the F-bomb because, you know what, it's resonant to me. It's resonant to my soul. It's it's very much on my journey. Now, Lizzie and I have never, ever had that conversation before. So that was really interesting. This mosquito just wanted to nosedive me again. So yeah, that is very, very weird. Anyway, I think this has been a really powerful conversation this evening, ladies and gents. Do you agree? I feel it's very important that we talk openly and clearly with what we desire for our life. We need to be making sure that we are putting out there what we are looking to achieve. And I think, in fact, I feel that this is the period of time to create it. We are so much more conscious. We are working much better with the quantum realm right now. And I think it's extremely, extremely important that we navigate this topic, which is extremely, extremely important. Ladies and gents, I am so, so pleased that you guys have enjoyed this. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you very much. Please do share this video with anybody that you feel might benefit from it. Do keep an eye eye on your language. Do keep an eye on when people are talking about yawning. Moon Girl, I'm ever so sorry to have made you yawn, but I'm glad I proved a point by this. I love you guys to the moon and stars. I really, really look forward to seeing you next week. If I haven't done it already, next week I'm going to be talking about, I wrote it down earlier, the instant gratification that is on the world. I don't know why, I've just got that come through earlier. So if I haven't done a video on it before, I'll be doing that next week. I love you all. To those of you that come to Conscious Conversations, I will see you this evening for another wow chat. And all of you, I will look forward to seeing you next week. Mwah. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share with anybody who may enjoy it. Love you loads, guys. Have a good rest of your Monday, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao. Take care.